Us about yourself and the work you do for Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
Yeah, sure, Kathy. I'm director over procurement, pharmacy procurement, and inventory control. So I kind of sit with a team of folks, colleagues here at Vanderbilt, who daily just try to meet the needs of our mission by getting drugs in and supplies and keeping us moving.
And what challenges have pharmacy departments faced due to the pandemic?
I think to answer the question, you have to ask kind of what pharmacy departments were being.
The following is a paid program. The opinions and views expressed do not reflect those of Bloomberg LP, its affiliates, or its employees.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Secure is a secure messaging and also email service with some new products coming for businesses as well. With me is CEO Alon Gahi to explain Secure, your new products, what problems you're solving, which are huge problems. So let's just talk about, give me an overall view of Secure and what your company is doing.
Sure, thank you, Jane, and hello to anybody who's watching us. Being on the New York Stock Exchange, the bastion of capitalism, so I'm pretty happy to be here. So Secure, spelled S-E-K-U-R, is essentially a suite of communication solutions, secure and private communication, and also a private kind of a virtual vault, data management, file share, password manager. So we have Secure Suite, which is more of an enterprise rated type software for, it's like a password manager. It's got file share, file backup, etc., like a backup in a cloud. And then we have Secure, which is essentially an email, a messenger, and we're launching encrypted video and encrypted voice communication as well. We have several packages right now, and we just launched Secure Mail Only, and we also just launched the Secure Business packages.
Now, how are you able to provide these services securely as opposed to what's currently on the market?
Sure. So what we do first is we provide you with privacy. You know, we're pretty much the leader in privacy. We do have an extremely secure system as well. The big thing is that we have our own infrastructure, so we don't host our solution in third-party like hosting, like big tech. You know, you have the big 3-4 cloud companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google. We have our own. So that gives you more security and definitely more privacy. Also, we host everything only in Switzerland. So, you know, we're not compliant with the Cloud Act, which dictates that even if you're in Switzerland and you use a US infrastructure, that data can be subpoenaed and, of course, data mined. We never data mine you. Our encryption is such that when you're in our database, each individual user is segregated. That takes a tremendous amount of processing power. We call it our virtual vaults technology. And when you send an email or a message to someone within or outside of your organization, we use what we call the Helix tunneling system. So, Jane, let's say you want to email or message someone who is not part of your company and they don't have Secure. They get a notification, whether it's a text or an email, to click and communicate with you, read your email, and Secure reply right back. And the best part is that they don't have to register to Secure, as long as the sender has it. So that's a huge thing for businesses because you got finance, laws, medical organization. I mean, just anyone communicates outside, right? And that's where all the emails get hacked.
Right. Well, and there's all kinds of personal and business information on emails that you don't necessarily want people to see. So
no, and you don't think about it, but businesses use. I mean, 94% of all hack come from email at the source. Whether they hack the infrastructure later is because they read a ton of email to figure out how to get to that network. So we are unique in a way that we have our own infrastructure. We don't do open source coding. And I know a lot of people say, well, open source is better because developers have that oversight.
Yeah, they like that collaboration.
They like that collaboration. Right. And it was great 10, 20 years ago. But today, you also have the hackers that come in. And therefore, it's like basically opening your wallet to them or your secret sauce or your secret formulas, and they can come in. Sure, they can configure and improve, but they can also hack you. Because once you know the code, you can do anything to it. You can enter. So we don't do open source at all, never have, never will. We have our own proprietary tech. We don't integrate with other APIs, other integration. We are like our own little Fort Knox, but Swiss version, of course. So that's the thing. If you integrate with so many software, and when they have a flaw, it basically goes back to you. And it creates a crack. You know, every time you have a connection, it's a weak spot, even in structure. It's better to have one solid line as opposed to a line with a bunch of little connection that you're weak and you can crack into.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Alon, for coming, explaining Secure.
Thanks, Jane. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Workplace has changed. Companies now depend on video conferencing to meet with customers and to collaborate with remote workers. Yet this change has brought about significant new cyber risks. Hackers are now stealing personal, medical, government, and corporate data during these video conferences. The problem is existing video conferencing systems were not designed and built by a cybersecurity company until now. Safe vChat, the industry's most secure video conferencing and collaboration platform. Secure your sensitive data with Safe vChat. Visit safevchat.com today. Use coupon code BUYNOW and save an additional 15%.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Alpaca Finance is a lending platform on the Binance Smart Chain. So lenders can earn stable yields. Borrowers have some flexibility as well. And with me is Head of Institutional Growth, Pete Woodard. Great to see you. So just give me an overview. What is Alpaca Finance?
Yeah, sure. So Alpaca Finance is a crypto lending platform. We provide yield-generating opportunities to primarily two different types of users. One of those users is looking for passive income that beats the bank or like your banking account, so circa like 5 to 10%. And the other is a more active investor kind of in crypto DeFi that look for higher yields. And they do something called yield farming, or also known as automated market making. But like the value prop is pretty well the same for both. They're putting their assets to work with us, and they're generating higher than average yields you get pretty well anywhere else. Like as for the company goes, sorry, you're going to say something?
Well, I was going to ask you, give me an example of some yields.
Well, yeah, like on the passive side, again, high single digits is not uncommon. For yield farmers, like it sounds, you know, compared to traditional finance, a bit insane, but it's, you know, double digits up to kind of triple digits. But that's yield farming. We focus on leverage. So we add leverage to yield farming.
Okay, all right. And decentralized finance. So that's, you know, a word we're hearing more and more. Kind of explain that concept.
Yeah, so in broad strokes, so decentralized finance is also known as DeFi, or more commonly known as DeFi. And really what it is an open financial system for the internet age built on blockchain. So unlike traditional finance, which is sort of centrally controlled by a company and at this point built on very old technology, with DeFi, you're in complete control. And you can find, in terms of products, pretty well anything you could find in a bank. So lending, borrowing, investing, trading, and you're in complete control. The market as a whole is growing a lot, so it's about 300 billion, growing quarter on quarter. Yeah. And many of the largest sort of banks, institutions, family offices are all involved. But I would argue for the normal user, it's a level playing field. Like all the information is out there and complete level playing field.
No, it's a whole new paradigm for finance. It's going to be interesting to see how this, how this all unfolds. So who would be a typical Alpaca Finance customer?
Yeah, it's a real mix. So we have a really broad user base. It kind of sits into two buckets. We have normal people like myself that use it for passive income or yield farming, so generating strategies. But there's notable institutions. We have family offices, funds, asset managers that are putting 7-8 figures of capital with us.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not on the radar of a lot of people in finance.
No, not yet. I think it's on the radar with more than they speak about, in my humble opinion. So like we speak to a lot of
it's like a well-kept secret.
Yeah, it's a really well-kept secret now. I think a lot of people are trying to, especially users, not so much, are really kind of caught on with it. But when we talk about like institutions, I would argue that they're just trying to figure out how it fits into their mix, but it's definitely on their radar.
Very interesting. Thanks so much, Pete, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brinks vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download.
Keeping your four-legged friends healthy can certainly be a challenge, especially with painful joint diseases like osteoarthritis. If you see a change in your animal's mobility, contact your veterinarian and don't wait. Today, veterinarians have a new tool against joint disease. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. The natural-derived product has the ability to help your animal move more freely. Put the spring back in their lives for a longer, happier life.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna Berry, and this is New to the Street. Today, we're speaking with Vulcan Forged. It's your one-stop shop for blockchain and NFT gamers and enthusiasts, empowered by the PYR cross-platform currency. Please welcome its CEO, Jamie Thompson. Nice to see you again, Jamie.
Thanks very much for having me, Anna. Lovely to be back.
All right, so we are in full swing of 2022. Let's talk about the metaverse. How is the metaverse sector looking right now from your end?
Yeah, well, with any market, obviously with the global conditions as they are, with sort of wars popping all over the place, the economy taking a bit of a tank in general, I think most of the hype and fad and trends have been put to the side for the meantime. And unfortunately, metaverse is no exception. I like to say the sort of game is game, and no matter what the market conditions are. But I think a lot of people have kind of got money on the sidelines, whether it's in crypto or in stocks, and most people are glued to the news at the moment. But yeah, I mean, the metaverse, I still believe has barely started. Facebook has still gone ahead with their big meta change. They've started releasing some new videos of what they're trying to accomplish. So I think 2022, once things are settled down, if they settle down, I certainly believe we're in for a big storm involving it.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that specifically for you in Vulcan Forge. Yes, the market is very volatile right now. We're in the midst of a full-blown real war. What about the war in the world that you're creating right now? How's your community reacting to this? Do you notice more people jumping in? Do you notice people being more hesitant? What's it like on your end?
Yeah, I mean, for sort of personal point of view, in our company, we've still grown the numbers. I mean, people are joining up, but it's very hard for me to know if that correlation is between sort of our marketing or it's because people don't want to watch the news, they want to play the game. But I mean, you're right. Maybe there is something to this kind of sort of escapism of the metaverse or the gaming, which gets people's minds off it. But our user count has certainly gone up. And of course, when people are in game, we don't really allow any sort of political talk anyway. And people are so focused on the underworld versus Arcadia and all these kind of fantastical sort of creature battles. They don't really go into it much. But yeah, so in a way, maybe perhaps the gaming market will benefit from this more so than others.
Right, a little escapism, if you will. Let's talk about NFTs. I was checking out your site again and noticing you've got a lot new NFTs. What are some trends that you're noticing right now in that market?
Yeah, well, I think I kind of predicted this last year that I think the NFT hype was starting to get very diluted. I mean, once people sort of, I think with any sort of mainstream topic, once people get the idea that it's going to make money, you're going to get every Tom, Dick and Harry jumping in with new collections, new NFTs. I mean, you know, once the Twitter CEO was sort of minting NFTs and everyone was doing it, then obviously a lot of sort of stuff got sort of put to the wayside. But I think now what you're finding is a bit of a trend into the more sort of musical and yeah, music NFTs are certainly taking a big rise in popularity. We ourselves don't specialize in music NFTs, but now I've said that, I feel like I should go straight back and do it because I've noticed a big uptick in the sort of the trending NFT searches. But collectibles are still the big hot topic at the moment. There's something about knowing there's only 5,000 of crazy unicorns or bad monkeys or whatever around the place. People want to collect it, but yeah, we're certainly entering the dilution phase of all this now, and only the cream of the crop will survive.
I agree with that. I see already like a Greco-Roman lute or an oud or something like that you could market really well with your platform.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, sign on up.
Right. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the hype, right? What company do you think will be best placed for this metaverse hype that we're all experiencing? Do you have any that you're particularly following and liking?
Yeah, Vulcan Forge is probably the one I'm backing the most. But no, seriously, what I do believe, I think the company, there are two different sectors. There's one that's going to sort of go for the sort of the new physical technologies, which I think Meta and Microsoft are kind of pushing. The new Oculus, I think they're sort of lowering the price of that, which I think is a great idea in order to sort of provide mass adoption to the whole VR space. So I think you've got that side of the companies, those that manage to get the mass sort of population into buying these devices, they'll do well. Then you've got the whole blockchain and crypto side, which has adopted the word metaverse. And I think it's those that kind of accept that the gaming industry isn't ready for NFTs yet. And you are dealing with a new demographic. You're dealing with people that aren't so interested in crypto or gaming. It's somewhere in between. This whole idea of owning something and sort of moving in a virtual environment by owning it. And how big that market is yet, I still believe it's too early to see. But because we're not at quarter four last year where it was just expanding rapidly and this blow off top of hype. So we shall see this year how it progresses. But I think the companies that are honest with themselves and the demographic are going to be the ones that come out of this strongest.
Jamie, talk a little bit about your PYR token and your cross-platform currency you guys have, and the pay-to-play aspect of your company.
Yeah, play to earn. Yeah, pay to play is probably what we want to kind of avoid because that means just like it's a high barrier to entry. So we kind of use a lot of, I wouldn't say failed tokenomics, but we use a lot of mistakes by other companies, I suppose, with this whole play to earn economy in order to help fine tune what we're doing. I mean, before a lot of companies were very much like you play this game, you earn money, and it attracts a lot of users, but then where's that money coming from? So it results in this enormous pyramid scheme where someone's always paying for the next person in it. So a lot of companies, not just ourselves, we've adopted this way that people, they do earn, but after a certain amount of playing and they reinvest the money. A lot of incentives to do that. And of course, that's all done with PYR, which is our token, of course. And yeah, so I think the new word's going to be gamify this year. I think the play to earn, all the companies, including ourselves, are kind of trying to avoid that a little bit now because it puts a focus on, I'm only playing for money. There's no gaming, there's no enjoyment in it. And that may be the case, but we don't want to sort of reinforce that stereotype as much.
All right, there you have it. Play to earn and gamify. That might be on trend coming up this summer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, tell us where our audience can find you, Jamie.
Twitter, Vulcan Forged, you'll find us there. We're verified and you can't miss us. And drop in our Discord at Vulcanverse if you want to say hello. And we're always welcome new people into our community.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us again on New to the Street. We look forward to seeing you again with some future updates.
Super. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Glent has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brinks vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glent's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glentpay.com or download Glent from your favorite app store.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Global Diversified Marketing Group, a consumer packaged goods company. Discover our world-class brands at 360worldsnacks.com and easylive.com.
FinxFlo is a platform designed to bring the best prices from different exchanges around the world, both CeFi and DeFi protocols. It is regulated and secure as well. And with me, the CEO, James Gillingham, to talk about some updates with FinxFlo. James, good to see you again. And it's been an unpredictable year so far. I guess bring me up to date on what FinxFlo is doing right now.
So we're basically working on a bunch more features. We're about to add another 200 to 300 new trading assets on the platform as we speak. We've just also had our new staking features being added. We've got better execution. We've also had zero trading fees. It's been a super busy start to the year so far, Jane.
Yeah, well, and of course, we've seen this absolute tragedy going on in Ukraine, and crypto has reacted to that. I mean, do you think there's been any transformational change as people have relied on that when their currency crashes, when they can't get access to funds, things like that? How do you see that situation?
Yeah, so I certainly see, obviously, Bitcoin's now in more of a bullish momentum. That's certainly because, obviously, crypto is now being used as a hedge. Before, obviously, the Swiss franc, the US dollar, that was always normally the capital flight for the safe havens. But, now, considering the dollar keeps on printing, the Swiss is no longer really seen as a safe haven. I really think that gold and cryptocurrency really are going to see a lot of upside, as we've seen in the last couple of days. There's been a decent amount of movement to the upside for Bitcoin and obviously Ethereum, but we are anticipating that that's going to continue, and especially as this war seems to be prolonging longer than what anybody's really predicted. So there should be some a lot more bullish momentum for crypto in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Well, and also there have been reports that the White House, U.S. President Biden, may be coming up with some kind of executive order on the cryptocurrency market, how it should be regulated, if there's a digital dollar, environmental issues. How do you see that situation?
So they actually, I think it was last week that they've delayed that decision. They decided to extend that. I think that's because obviously the macro view of the world changing. However, the mid view for me realistically is super positive. The fact that the SEC that Biden has worked alongside with Yellen for this executive order. Obviously, that's going to be a lot of upside again for cryptocurrency. It's going to legitimize cryptocurrency. It's also going to have the normal individuals a little bit scared of crypto. The people think, oh, it could be a bit scammy, or it's too volatile. When these moves from the SEC, from Biden, from Yellen, this basically gives extra comfort and should add extra stability for the overall ecosystem, which then means that we should see a lot more trading volumes and a lot more people coming into cryptocurrency over the next year or so. So it's a super exciting time for everybody.
And it kind of gives the clearance for the institutional investors to get involved as well. I feel like when, the regulatory agencies are behind it. Now, you've also implemented something, zero trading fees. How's that been received?
Yeah, so zero trading fees was a feature that we worked extremely hard for. Obviously, we aggregate over 18 different exchanges, so all the world's top exchanges are now aggregated. That then gives us best price, best execution, and then what we're able to do is that then cascades into zero trading fees. It then means that we've got a lot of traders now. The price is what they see is what they get. They then don't need to add any trading fees or any fees on top of their executed price, which then means that we're a lot more competitive in the market. And then we really are obtaining our global best price available anytime, anywhere.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a rumor, perhaps you're going to do a debit card. So how would that work?
Yeah, so the debit card feature is something that the team have been working extremely hard on. It's essentially where all of our customers that are holding FXF tokens, they are able to then go and purchase everyday goods in their grocery store, TV, whatever it may be that they want to be able to go and purchase, which is absolutely fantastic. And then we've also got a number of other features where we have instant rewards, which are also spendable every single day. So we're trying to add extra features, and then we're also going to be collaborating and partnering with a number of the world's leading companies. And these companies, you will then be able to get huge savings, huge discounts when using your FinxFlo debit card.
Oh, interesting. So I'd have a debit card and I could convert tokens to it, and then it would convert to fiat, or like how would that work exactly?
No, so it's very, very simple. You have your tokens on your card. Let's say you have 1,000 FXF tokens. That 1,000 FXF tokens is worth $100. You then go to your local grocery store. You want to buy some bananas. You then purchase your bananas and use your digital card in order to do so. And then we will simply debit the FXF tokens from your card, and that's as simple as what it is, really.
Interesting. And I know you mentioned the FX token. I know you've been looking for a tier 1 exchange to list that. Where does that stand?
Yeah, so we've been in negotiations with a number of the world's leading exchanges for the last couple of months, really. We're just trying to negotiate, obviously, the best price. Our trading volumes within our FXF token haven't been as high as what we would have anticipated. That generally means that we're going to be having to spend a lot more capital in order to get a tier 1 listing. But that's something that we have been negotiating with, and I'm hoping to get this listing probably completed by the end of Q1 to early Q2.
Okay. Always great to get an update from you, James. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care.
The proceeding was a paid program. The opinions and views expressed do not reflect those of Bloomberg LP, its affiliates, or its employees.
You will put a woman on Mars. You will be the first chief crypto officer, because when you subscribe to Bloomberg, you won't just get news. You will get insight into limitless possibilities. Before you change the world, Bloomberg.
2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed. And for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
President seems like an even-tempered person, but, everybody gets upset from time to time. Does he yell and scream?
I think when things are going well, he doesn't get too hyped up, and when we're having tougher days, he maintains that composure, that demeanor.
From New York City.
Here in London, in Sydney, in San Francisco.
9 a.m. in Beijing and Shanghai.
Good morning, everyone.
Have a great evening.
To recap the headlines.
You do not want to miss this
story.
How
are you thinking about those dynamics?
Access the financial world on demand. Hear from leading economists, policymakers, and industry experts via live and on-demand webinars, only from Bloomberg. Start exploring to see what's moving the markets. Visit Bloomberg.com/webinars.
Junior achievement is where dreams take flight. We are helping students connect what they learn in school to future work and career success. However, we can't do it alone. Find out how you can help.
Partly suboptimal efficacy and side effects associated with that. This is quite challenging. So now, if you look at our data, brilaroxazine in the phase 2 study, so our drug has shown around a 12 to 14% dropout versus the